Tell me your name and then how and why you got in contact with B.L.E.S.S.E Ministries.
My name is Damon Venable, also known as Sharuka. Came affiliated with B.L.E.S.S.E Ministries from the Urban League, Ms. Kathy Waters, who I met by a chance encounter, right? And I'm a returning citizen, and I spent 35 years in prison. I was incarcerated at the age of 16. I came home May 4th, 2021. My conditions of parole were, to be released straight out. I made my first parole eligibility, which in New Jersey is almost an anomaly, an aberration, right? And my conditions were like minimal. They basically was like, you're good, minimal supervision. However, parole officers made an arbitrary decision to force me to go to reentry services, a privatized reentry services corporation that works with the parole board, right? But they had collaborations with the Urban League, who came in and helped with resumes, blah, 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 blah. And that's when I had the fortunate opportunity of meeting some very respectable people in the Urban League who had contacts with B.L.E.S.S.E Ministries, and there you have it. I got recommended to B.L.E.S.S.E Ministries because I heard about their internship program.
Right.
CPRSs, which I am, Certified Peer Recovery Specialist. They say it was difficult, but they vetted you because obviously it's grant funded. They didn't want to waste money and resources, and I got to tend to believe that some people would sign up and see that it was too much work and then bow out. So it was a vetting process. I had to speak with maybe a director or two, and I guess once they seen in me certain qualities and a hunger to certification, but also I had no fear of any academic challenges.
Okay, that was good.
And so they kind of sped me through it. And I did a 6 months internship with them, and right after the training, and they hired me, right after this, which was a blessing, man, because to be trained by, an organization, to the field of, CPRS recovery specialist. So I just kind of easily matriculated right into the workforce, man. I knew everybody, and it was probably like, not probably, I've been home 2 years, 2 months now, and that by far is the greatest experience, work experience, training experience, because it was just more than the training. I learned how to be a professional and operate within, a professional environment, which, I'm just took to it like a duck with water. They called me, I think it was a dropout. I really got in there by happenstance because it was too late for me to get in there. But like I said, war of attrition. Some people was just like, hey, I can't deal with this. The spot opened up. I think it was Mr. Agee who called me and said, hey, you still interested? Absolutely. And they kind of fast tracked it. And I just barely made the first training in August of 2021. So I came home in May. So you talk about 2 months. I went right in. They call it a 6 months internship, but it's really, you have to get like 500 hours. And they kind of space it out well, you can do it in 6 months. I think mine lasted 4.5. I was grinding. Yeah, I was grinding.
So probably maybe about 6 months after you got out, almost you had a job.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in a career, actually.
I had a career.
There
you go. I became a certified peer recovery specialist. Which absent everything else, would start me out at maybe a $46,000 a year job. Just coming home. I mean, I wanted better for myself, but that provided financial and career stability for me. I always had something to fall back on. I was doing substance abuse training and facilitating, inside.
Right.
And so, it was organic. I was recognized by private citizens coming in to facilitate the groups. They're like, hey, you can do this. And so it's something that I always want to do, something I'm still doing, even though, I have I still am a certified peer recovery specialist. I will always continue to update my certification because I'm always doing it, even though I'm not getting paid for it. But, in my other capacities, I do utilize everything that I learned from having my CPRS, which, you know, I definitely thank B.L.E.S.E.D Ministries for, you know, giving me that. It was my passion. You know, while inside, 25 years of the 35 years of my incarceration, I was a paralegal, and I was a really good paralegal. And you know, one of the ways in which, you know, you can really see the transformation or kind of measure a person's transformation or rehabilitation or reform is how often do that person, you know, gives back. You know, what kind of service are they providing to others? So I had a gift in being able to understand and navigate, you know, the legal realm. And so I was just helping guys out in prison, file different paperwork, anywhere from trying to get custody of their child or visitation rights, get their driver's license issue straightened out, taxes, like whatever it was legal. And kind of caught the attention of, you know, some lawyers on the outside. It's like, hey, you know, who wrote that for you? Or, you know, who did this for you? How you get that? And so I was able to broker some relationships with professionals on the outside, not just lawyers, just professionals, period. And they always said, hey, listen, you know, you get out, give me a call. And got out, gave a few of them a call, and, you know, here I am, an attorney assistant, you know, doing something that I love.
So you're attorney assistant?
Yeah, I'm an attorney assistant, you know, with a state office. You know, I work with attorneys. You know, I was a juvenile offender, so that's really like my specialty area. And so I bring my lived experience as a juvenile offender, someone who served 35 years of incarceration, but also know how to navigate you know, the legal or juridical realm in this society. So I actually help lawyers and talk to clients, kind of like an intermediate. You know, making sure like they got the attorney is effectively communicating, you know, whatever needs to be communicated to the client, and vice versa. And also helping a lot of the entry planning and re-entry preparation. So I'm just getting paid for doing things that I was already doing in prison.
All right. Well, lastly, just what kind of words of inspiration can you give and encouragement can you give to people that are maybe just getting out and don't have any direction and might have a little bit of fear about what their next move should be?
What I would say to them is what I've learned and put into practice. As somebody who was moved and reacted to their fears, right? Once I learned to, as human beings, we all have fears. Like, we're gonna have fears to the day we die. But the trick is using your fears as guides as opposed to letting them control you. That's all. It's easier said than done. Like, it took me a very long time to be guided by my fears or use them as guides as opposed to, you know, letting them move me in ways that was very counterproductive and you know, to myself. So what I'm a motivational speaker. I love talking to returning citizens. I love talking to individuals who's just stepping out because it's actually therapeutic for me. It helps me put into practice what I came to arrive at naturally in terms of, you know, being a success. You know, and that's what it is. I preach and extol the virtues of success. You know, it's about being a success. It's about doing the things that, you know, most people don't want to do or are so fearful of doing. And you know, and I tell people, you know, particularly returning citizens, you know, you spend time in prison. You know, MasterCard, they put me in prison. They threw me away to die, basically, as a kid. So I don't care what happened to me, but I survived. Matter of fact, I didn't survive. I thrived. I came out with 3 college degrees, a little bit of money, you know, and with a plan to, you know, to succeed in life. And I survived mass incarceration. I survived all attempts to destroy my humanity. So my whole thing is, if I can monetize that skill set out here in the world, not only would I benefit myself financially and socially and get some security, but I can help other people. That's my mission in life. That's my purpose in life. So I tell people that's coming home, you know, I just try to tell them that, you know, you have a skill set that you can monetize. You have a skill set that, you know, you must learn to transfer into this big wide world, and you can do it, you know. And I mean, there's so many other things I can say in terms of like inspiration and motivation, but you just got to believe in yourself, and you really got to believe that you are deserving of a second chance. If you believe that you are deserving of a second chance, you just got sky's the limit.
Thank you.